There's two parts of the drive I hate going up here. One is crossing this bridge. The second part is going up this narrow road we're going to turn on to. Folks, we're back in the combine, about to get rolling on corn again. We should finish this farm up here in probably 2-3 hours, and then we'll be moving. We're going to be doing one of our longer moves. We got corn that's a little bit closer, but where we're going to move to is a place that I'm going to be planting wheat. Get that corn out of the way so we can get ready to plant wheat. My dry beans still have, if you can see the beans that are right there, just right over there, they still have a lot of green stem in them. The moisture's low, but the stems are pretty green. So we're going to move on to cut more corn. And come back in November, so it's just like a week and a half away. Things are moving along. The old tire's holding up. Another friend of mine found some more tires, but they're just as old as the one I put on, so I'm not going to get them either. We will still be able to move over to the other farm today. It's going to take about 45 minutes to drive up there. Maybe an hour, just depends on how bad traffic is and how many times we have to stop and let cars go by. We don't like to hold folks up. We know folks got other places to be besides stuck behind us. And I don't like having cars stuck behind me no more than the cars like having me stuck in front of them. I just assume let them pass. Hopefully the move goes smooth. We are going to have to swing by the big shop and get a pole saw to take with us, because there's an Amish that bought some of this farm. They put they had put a fence up and it's in the right of way of the road. So where I could drive around these tree limbs last year, or for the last 7-8 years, this year I can't. So I'm gonna have to cut them. We will be taking the head off do this, since it's a long move, and one of the roads that we'll be on is really narrow. It's a side road. It's super narrow, so I don't go up that road alone. I always take a blocker with me. So I'm back, got my lunch, got a thing of tea. Ooh, look at here, homemade brownies, and a plate lunch. We got mustard and corn and potatoes and steamed vegetables. Pretty good. And I'll say this, my mom's a good enough cook that she cooks better than your grandma cooks. I can guarantee you that much. That's how good my mom cooks. That's it, folks. That's all the corn on this farm. Now it's time to empty everything out and get ready for the move. We've got a pretty good piece to go. It's probably about 16-17 miles, which doesn't seem that far, but when that's about the speed you drive at, when your top speed is 17 miles an hour, yeah, 16 miles is a pretty long way to drive. But so what it is, where my dad's house at, he's about 8 miles from where we're at. This other farm I have rented is about 8 miles north of him. All right, folks, we got the combo together. This is up front with the header cart. Dad's gonna be in the middle. I'm gonna be on the butt end. Got Dad in the middle on the grain cart because it don't have mirrors and you can't see behind it, but I got good mirrors, so I can let him know if people come up on us. I'm ready when y'all are. We also got a radio on. I won't be listening to the radio going down the road like this. That way we can talk back and forth and I can hear them pretty good. Two parts of the drive I hate going up here. One is crossing this bridge and the joining passing lane on the other side of it, because I got to make a left-hand turn in that passing lane. The second part is going up this narrow road we're going to turn on to. There's 4 cars back behind me again.
Road's blocked.
So if you heard that, Jesse's got the roadblock so we can get across the bridge. We don't actually need it. I prefer it though. It gets narrow right here at these guardrails. Right here, that's where it gets narrow at. You can roll on. I gotta turn my turn signal on. Luckily there's some cars coming. So these people won't try to pass me, but I got 6, 7 cars behind me. We're on a passing zone. But there's cars coming.
Make a turn.
Jump out here now like this. Middle of the road, block them off, because I got to go left and I don't need them trying to hit me in the side of the combine.
We'll try to stay a little in front of you.
The only reason I got in the middle of the road like that was because I had to make a left-hand turn in a passing zone. Those 7 cars behind me, one of them would have tried to pass me when I was turning. Even though I had my turn signal on, or my indicator that was indicating I was going to make a left-hand turn. For some reason on farm equipment, they don't recognize a blinker like they do on a car, or a turn signal or indicator, whatever you call them. This road up through here is super narrow. There's 2 spots we can get out of the way. But Jesse went on ahead to slow people down. If y'all can tell, I'm hugging my side of the road pretty hard like, just in case somebody slips by Jesse. But he will radio us and tell if a car gets coming at us. Like I can scoot over right here. Here's the spot I can scoot over at. I don't like getting in these grass edges on these side roads because they're full of glass bottles and trash. gets off this hill and gets over the road. The only other spot to pull over at when you're headed this direction, which is like northeast, is right here. It's not very big. That's it. There's 3 spots. The rest of it's narrow road. On the plus side, Amish should move down here. We got to be aware that their buggies are on this road, and those buggies go a lot slower than any piece of equipment we have. The slowest tractor we have does 15 miles an hour, and a buggy most of the time is doing 5. Making a left up here, we got to stop and cut some tree limbs. Get the combine by.
You going to the driveway, yes? Yeah, I'm going to drive. I'm going to stop up here past these trees. I'll make sure I can get through. I'll just follow you then.
Bring me the pole saw. I gotta get out and cut a limb or two. She's a tight fit in here, folks, but we're getting in. If it wasn't for this Amish building a fence in the right of way of the road, it wouldn't be that big a deal. But don't ever think Amish are gonna do something in your favor. All right, folks, I'm back and we're moving, or now we're moving. So the person who owns this house is pretty upset at the Amish for building their fence so close to the road. He said, just cut whatever tree limbs you want to. So the road actually goes to the right there. But I got permission from these 2 landowners to cut across their property to get back here in the back. It makes it a lot easier. Of course, I do have to get out through a pretty deep ditch right here. Right through this steep ditch. I don't care much for that, but way I can get a piece of equipment in. Once we get back in the back, it'll be almost an hour. Of course, we did have to stop and cut those tree limbs, so that added probably 15 minutes to us. No big deal though. We're moving now. Of course, cutting through here, this stuff is rough as a cob. They plowed it one year and never did plant it, and it's never been dead since it was plowed. Thought I should have brought the pole saw with me this way, but I'll leave it up going out. All right, folks, y'all got to see me hook head up. We're about to get thrashing corn here. So we got corn in this field, corn across the driveway, corn down there, corn down on the creek bottom. So we're gonna get at her, get to thrashing it. I had my wife come pick my dad and brother up for Don and Jesse. That way they can go get the trucks. Corn's looking real good right now. We did come down and have to replant some of this farm. Had to replant it. We replanted this farm also. There's a couple wet spots. This farm, there's 2 farms down at our farm. This farm is a jointed farm. Both of them had wet spots on them. And had to have replanted in them. So it's starting to get dark out. I don't know how dark it looks on the camera, but it's starting to get dark out. I'm about to have to turn my lights on. I'm probably gonna only cut 1 more truckload for tonight. The gas burner Chevy had decided that she get an injector plugged up, so I'm down to 1 truck. So first thing in the morning, we're gonna pull the injectors out and clean them real quick. You know, no big deal, but it's kind of aggravating. But ain't nothing we can't fix. So right now in this field, what I've basically done is I'm still working on the inrows. Still working on the inrows. I've been cutting inrows out for 2 hours. Not that the field's that big, it's just the field is cut into 2 separate fields, so I have to have lots of inroads. But it's turning out, corn's turning out pretty good. Looks good so far. Now this end row right here, up by where I'm loading trucks at, is pretty dirty. Had a good bit of grass in it, but it's also wet up here. So here's 1 field. Across the waterway there is another field. I gotta figure out a dry spot to cross this ditch from about them little trees back that way. It's really wet. So I'm about to cross it down here somewhere. I might even get back out on the road and go down the road to get into that field. But I'm thinking down towards this end we can get into it. We're gonna work on a big part of the field right now. But we do have, well, yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 fields down here. 2 different farms. The big field right here is separated from this waterway. This field is separated from this field up here with the waterway. And you got that little field on the other side of the road, and another field down there, and another field down in the creek bottom. Y'all enjoy going down the creek bottom with us, because before we get down there, me and Jesse got to go down there and tear beaver dams out. They're back again. I can see them from up top here, and they have the crossing. We're supposed to be about 6 inches of water, probably about 6 foot of water. So didn't get time to rent a track hoe like I usually do and tear it out. So we'll be tearing them out by hand. In the spring, I usually ran a small track hoe or excavator, whatever y'all call them. I still call them a track hoe, but I'll run a small one and come down here and tear it out. Well, it's a lot faster than tearing them out by hand. Tearing them out by hand takes a while. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna finish hammering out this last load of corn, but I'm gonna let y'all go. You know, appreciate y'all being along again for another fun day, exciting day of corn harvest. Y'all got to get right along on one of the bigger moves. We'll still have 1 more big move left when we cut beans. Y'all be along for that, but once we get done corn down here, we'll have 1, 2, 3 more farms of corn to cut, and we're done with corn. May or may not swap to beans between that. we'll see how things are going. Hopefully beans hold on a little longer. They still have some green stem and green leaf, but one good frost will take care of that. Like I was saying, appreciate y'all being with us. Hope you enjoyed it. If you do, give it a thumbs up, give it a like, subscribe if you'd like to. Drop a comment if you see something you want to chat about. Appreciate everything y'all say on there. And if the good Lord's willing, we'll catch you on the flip side. Until the next time.